Okay, this is just a short video on how the letter benders read files and process files. So basically over here you've got the inner part of a D that's been mirrored to process on the machine. So you've got a square node in each corner, so the machine knows to put a slot there to get the bend, and then we've got our round nodes. So the machine recognizes them as obviously an arc, so it knows to bend that arc. Same as on the outside, we've got our two square nodes for our slotting points, and then we've got our round nodes for our arcs. Now it works on exactly the same principle basically as a CNC router or a vinyl plotter. The only difference being is that if you have a look at this file here, this file here, if we look at it close up, it's made up of a lot of little squares, square nodes. So the machine's going to look at them and realize that they are actually still in an arc form, but what it's going to do is it's going to slot these two here on the outside because there's nothing in between them, so it's recognizing that as a straight point, so it'll slot them. But what it's going to do when it comes to all these little points here is it's going to try to actually bend them to a degree, but because they're square nodes, it's not going to know how smooth to make the arc. So basically that part there is going to come out looking terrible. And if you go to process it, you're going to process it and go, geez, what's wrong with the machine? But in fact, it's just the file. Same as this one here. We've got square nodes at the end, but we've got another square node out here, another one over here. So basically it's going to read these and it's going to slot them there, but it's going to bend them perfectly. So unlike a router, a CNC would still read them and it'd come out quite smooth, same as a vinyl plotter. So if you cut that face on your router and then you went to process that inner part on your bender, the face is going to come out relatively smooth, but when you go to process that inner part, it's going to look terrible. And you're going to go, what the hell's wrong with me bender? So basically what you've got to do is, as you get a file from a client or you make one yourself, regardless of what software it comes off, you need to check the fonts. So you need to convert them to curves and have a look at them closely before you process them, and make sure that your square nodes are where they've got to be and your round nodes are where they've got to be. So basically this one here is a perfect file to put in the bender. It's going to come out perfect. This one here, on the other hand, if you went to process this, you're going to have all sorts of trouble and you're going to think there's something wrong with the machine, but there's not. So just be mindful of that when you go to put a job in the machine, or if you put a job in the machine and it doesn't come out right, first thing you do, go back and check your file, make sure your file's right. And that's about it on files.